How's it going, everyone? This is Astro here again, and at long last, welcome to the Splatoon 2 Weapon Analysis Series. I've taken a bit of a break from making videos, but I'm back and I'm very excited to talk about all the new features this game has to offer. Just like in the Weapon Analysis series for the first game, I'll begin by taking a weapon and talking about its typing and stats. Then I'll discuss the weapon's version history to see all the changes that have been made by all the recent development patches. And finally, I'll recommend some abilities and gear builds that can be used to play to the weapon's strengths, as well as try to cover its weaknesses. So, as you can see in the image, today's video is going to be all about the Splattershot. So let's jump right into it. So to start things off, the Splattershot is the iconic jack-of-all-trades main shooter type weapon in Splatoon 2, and it can be purchased from the Ammo Night store for a cost of 900 coins once you have reached level 2. The Splattershot also has a reskinned version called the Hero Shot Replica. It has the same stats, and it can be obtained after you complete all the levels in the Octo Canyon single player mode with the weapon. As for the stats in question, the Splattershot has a range of 50, which makes it a good middle ground weapon that can fight well up close, as well as a little bit far away. Its damage is a bit on the low side, having a value of 45, but it makes up for this with its increased fire rate of 60. The Splattershot also has a base damage of 35, which will allow you to splat your enemies in 3 hits. As for its weapon kit, the Splattershot still retains the burst bomb for its sub-weapon, which is a balloon that's filled with ink and explodes the moment it comes in contact with an enemy or if it hits the ground, making it a great sub-weapon to apply pressure. However, in Splatoon 2, the Splattershot replaces the Bomb Rush for a new special weapon known as Splashdown, which is a special that allows you to jump up in the air and smash the ground with a powerful shockwave that can splat any enemies within your blast radius. So overall, the Splattershot is an all-around weapon in terms of power, range, and fire rate, making it easy to use for players of all skill levels. And the sub and special weapons give you a different way to ink turf and maintain map control, as well as apply pressure to your enemies. As for its version history, the Splattershot received a couple of downgrades. So in version 1.4 and 2.0, the amount of points needed to charge your special gauge has been increased from 180 points to 190 and 200 points respectively. So you can use some special charge up to mitigate that loss if you choose to do so. As for the Splashdown, it receives several upgrades in version 1.3. First, the amount of time the player remains at the maximum height of the jump has been decreased by 10/60ths of a second, which will allow you to hit the ground a little bit quicker to splat your enemies. Second, the maximum height of your jump has been increased by about 31%, which can give you an advantage if enemies with a short-range weapon are trying to take you down from below. Next, the minimum damage has been increased from 40 to 55, so you can follow up with the Splattershot or a direct burst bomb attack to get the splat. And lastly, the amount of points required to charge the Splashdown has been decreased depending on which main weapon the Splashdown is paired with. And as I mentioned earlier, the Splattershot now requires 200 points. As for version 3.0, dealing damage to a player mid-splashdown will no longer depend on the internet connection quality, which I believe means that the damage will remain the same regardless of the connection quality. And finally, in version 3.2, the radius of turf that has been inked has been increased, and the gaps of uninked turf has been decreased, which can come in handy in a mode such as Splat Zones, to allow you to capture the zone as quickly as possible. As for recommended abilities to use on your gear, the Splattershot, in my opinion, works well with almost any ability that you can use with it. But if you're a player that needs burst bombs to back you up, Ink Saver Sub combined with Ink Recovery Up should help with that. So without further ado, let's take a look at the first gear build that I have for you in this video. So this first build is designed to support the Burst Bomb. We'll start this one off by selecting our headgear, which will be in the form of the knitted hat. It uses Ink Resistance Up for its main ability, which is now a stackable ability in Splatoon 2, and it features the Fire Fin brand, which favors Ink Saver Sub. As for our clothes, we can use either the Black Urchin Rock Tee or the Black Squid Eye. The Black Urchin Rock Tee uses Ink Recovery Up for its main ability, and it features the Rockenberg brand, which favors Run Speed Up, whereas the Black Squid Eye uses Run Speed Up for its main ability, and it features the Tentatech brand, which favors Ink Recovery Up. And finally, for our shoes, we're going to use the Blueberry Casuals, which uses Ink Saver Sub for its main ability, and it features the Crack-On brand, which favors Swim Speed Up. So overall, this build is designed to make use of your burst bombs as often as possible. The stacks of Ink Saver Sub on your headgear and shoes will allow you to throw up to 3 burst bombs with a full tank, and the Ink Recovery Up on your clothes will help you refill your ink tank a little bit quicker so you can use more burst bombs, as well as support the main weapon if you need to. You also have movement options in the form of run speed and swim speed on your clothes and shoes respectively, as a way to help you retreat or reposition yourself in a firefight, as well as circle strafe your enemies. And finally, the Ink Resistance Up on your headgear will keep your mobility up if you accidentally get stuck in enemy ink. Up next, I have a general purpose build that can be used to charge the splashdown if you choose to do so. We'll start this one off by selecting the Camo Mesh for our headgear. It uses Swim Speed Up for its main ability, and features the Fire Fin brand, which favors Ink Saver Sub. As for our clothes, we can use either the baseball jersey or the white 8-bit fish fry. Both clothes feature the Fire Fin brand, which once again favors Ink Saver Sub. However, for its main ability, the baseball jersey uses Special Charge Up, and the white 8-bit fish fry uses a new ability in Splatoon 2 known as Sub Power Up, which improves the performance of sub weapons. And finally, for our shoes, we'll be using the Blue Moto Boots, which uses Ink Resistance Up for its main ability, and features the Rockenberg brand, which favors Run Speed Up. So overall, this build tries to cover all the bases of the Splattershot. The stacks of Ink Saver Sub on your headgear and clothes will still give you the ability to throw 3 burst bombs with a full tank, and your selection of clothes will determine how you want to support the weapon kit. If you decide to use the baseball jersey, you can use Special Charge Up to charge your splashdown a little bit faster. If you decide to use the white 8-bit fish fry, you can use Sub Power Up to increase the velocity and travel distance of your burst bombs. The swim speed and run speed on your headgear and shoes respectively is there for added mobility to help you retreat, reposition, or circle strafe depending on the situation. And finally, the ink resistance on your shoes will help keep you mobile if you get stuck in enemy ink. So these are a couple of ideas that I came up with to help you get started. You can take your pick and feel free to modify these builds in a way that works best for your playstyle. But anyways everyone, that's the end of this video, so thank you very much for watching my analysis on the Splattershot. If you found this information useful, be sure to splat that like button and let me know your thoughts about this weapon in the comment section below. And if you think there's something that I forgot to mention in this presentation, feel free to include that in the comments as well. Also, subscribe for more videos in the future, and ring the notification bell to know when I upload new videos. So, until next time, this is Astro blasting off, and as always, take care, stay fresh, and I hope you all have a great day.